The weekend out there at Churchill Downs, a Breeders' Cup Classic win in your ears. So now we'll get to see MINDFRAME hopefully at the back end of this year down at the Seaside Oval. Off that performance, off that speed fig, Dave, enough to put MINDFRAME near the top of the list in the Classic division?
You know, his only other try at a mile and a quarter was in the Belmont, where he got second. This, of course, was a mile and eighth in the Stephen Foster. So he still hasn't won at the Breeders' Classic distance, which Sierra Leone was able to do last year. Terrible start once again for Sierra Leone. He just continues to have his problems away from the gate, but he rallied and got into second. He's still a major player. And then we got the 3-year-olds. You know, where does Sovereignty and Journalism rank amongst our older division? Well, as the year goes on, at some point they're going to have to test the waters. And maybe for Sovereignty it won't be until the Breeders' Cup Classic. I think Journalism might do it a little bit earlier.
Division Watch taking a look at the Breeders' Cup Classic contenders. No surprises, Sovereignty and Journalism with the first two. MINDFRAME slipping into the middle of the top 5. Sierra Leone with a late surge in the Stephen Foster, but it wasn't enough. And Fierceness off that runner-up in the Met Mile. So, Dave, out of the big 5 contenders, what do we make of the West Coast Warrior in Journalism?
I like Journalism. I'm hoping he has a really good campaign. I'm hoping to see him in the Pacific Classic. I don't know if that's in the works. Maybe he's going to stick with the 3-year-olds, but I think he's sitting on a big race, and I'm not giving up on Sierra Leone. You know, when you have a 14-horse field like you're probably going to get in the Breeders' Cup Classic, you're going to have pace.
Yeah.
He's running 2 races so far this year that he just didn't have it set up the way that it did last year in the Breeders' Cup Classic. So when they go fast, he's much more effective, and he hasn't really had that chance yet. And
that was in the lead up to the Classic last year, the knock on Sierra Leone. Too much Mr. Nice Guy, always coming in second, third. What's he going to take to finally get it done? Got it done the Classic, but now we're going back to what we saw earlier last year, missing the early jump and being a part of the back mark.